Hello, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to have you with me. Today, we will be talking about the latest episode of Joseline's Cabaret, Texas. This is episode 4, I believe. So, if you've been watching and you're looking for a recap, you're looking for an after show, you've come to the right place. All right, welcome to Damieon After Dark, everybody. If you're new here or you have not subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button down below this video by clicking my name or my face down there. Also, click the thumbs up button and like this video. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm so more beautiful people like yourself can find me here, okay? Next, I'd like for you to get in the comment section and let your opinion be heard. Join the conversation and leave me your thoughts and opinions on the latest episode of Joseline's Cabaret. What did you guys think about it? We've got some things to talk about, and I'd love to hear your opinions, okay? Last but not least, if you would like to donate to the Damieon After Dark movement, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. I will also post my Amazon wish list. Thank you guys so much for your love, your support, the comments, the likes, all that, okay? I'm sending you my love. Thank you guys so much. Sorry the video's late, you guys. It takes forever to upload. I've been trying to upload multiple videos all week. But we're getting there. We're getting there, okay? So let's talk about it. We know that last week's episode ended with a few of the OG girls are not feeling these new girls, Rose and I forget the other new girl's name, but there are two new girls that Joseline chose from Area 29 when they went to the club, Area 29. Joseline found two new girls that she liked out in the audience and brought them back to the cabaret and brought them on the show. And some of the girls aren't feeling it. We see Ocean and the other girl, I can never think of her name, but she's the thicker, fuller-figured girl. Her and Ocean aren't feeling it, so they team up together to jump on these girls, right? They say pretty much, y'all some pretty girls and whatnot. Ain't nothing personal, but we don't want you here. Let's go. So they start fighting these girls. They start fighting these two new girls because they don't want them in the house, and they feel like it's unfair that these two new girls got to come into the house when they had to work hard and audition to get there, right? And I'm just like, I really don't get it. These two new girls are being attacked. But I'm like, really, we're only in episode 4, and if you really want to think about it, all y'all girls just really started. You know, all y'all girls really just started. I'm a little confused why they're so mad. Y'all act like y'all went through some strenuous casting process. Y'all act like y'all had to go through physicals, IQ testing. You had to go to the doctor and get get a pap smear. You had to go do this, and that. Get your birth certificate. Draw. Go draw BLOOD. Y'all act like y'all had to go through a bunch of bullshit to get where you at. You didn't have to do much. You had to send Joseline a video telling her why you want to pop and shake your pussy and ass, and show up. If you're chosen, that's it. I know Zeus ain't got no real. We've seen their casting process. Now, I could see if these girls had been filming for weeks and they brought two new girls in midway or towards the end, you know what I'm saying? I could see being upset, like, what the fuck, we've came this far and they're bringing two new girls in who didn't put in any work. But the show just started, ladies, chill out. And watching this, I get follower vibes from Ocean. I've been watching her, and I get follower vibes and kiss ass vibes from Ocean. She's not been here. We're only 4 episodes in, and she's been licking Joseline's ass. I mean, licking her ass, kissing her ass in every which way. I love you, Joseline. I love you. I love you. I love you. We seen her in tonight's episode. She started crying in front of Joseline. Talking about, I don't want to go home. I want this so bad. I want this so bad. Like, girl, please cry me a ocean, okay? Um, yeah, and the thing is, Ocean. Here's the gag, okay? Ocean was fighting the two new girls, and she beat their ass. But Ocean can't fight. Like Ocean, I don't want to say she beat their ass, but Ocean won the fight between the two new girls. However, the gag is Ocean cannot fight. Did y'all see how she was fighting? Did y'all see her form and how she was throwing her fist? But those other two girls, like, I'm like, how did y'all let Ocean whoop y'all's ass? That girl cannot fight. Child. Um. Now, all the girls, well, not all of them, but a majority of the girls are outside. They're hanging outside or sitting around this table, chilling. And Isis walks out and she's saying hey to everybody. And when she passes Kay, she says, hey, Jigsaw. So her and Kay start bickering back and forth, right? We see Kay and Jigsaw start bickering back and forth. Now that turns into when Isis and Kay are going at it, then we see multiple girls start jumping in and kind of going at Kay, saying, I've got an issue with you, or you did this to me, or I'm mad at you for this. It just seemed like every girl out there had an issue with Kay all of a sudden. And listen, I don't care for Kay. I'm not a big fan of hers. But it did seem like out of the blue, one by one, they all followed Isis' lead and started attacking this girl. And it didn't seem warranted. I didn't understand. Can anybody else help me understand? Because we see the girl with the little nose ring right here. She got the nose ring that I said was really pretty. She said something to her like, get your hands out of my face. Because Kay was talking to Isis doing all this. And the girl was like, get your hands out of my face. And then we saw Dez step in and say something, and then we saw there's another girl that said something, I can't think of her name. Erica approaches her and is like, I heard you got I heard you got a problem, like I heard you got a problem with me. And it's like, what, where is this coming from? Now Erica's the blonde. Y'all know who I'm talking about. She's the blonde, light-skinned girl. But she tells Kay, I heard you got a problem. And Kay's like, what's the problem? And she's like, I heard you said that you're prettier than all of us. Like, girl, what? You are 40 years old, and you're approaching this woman about some high school bullshit. What do you mean you heard that this girl said she was prettier than all y'all? Who gives a fuck if she did say that? Aren't you secure enough in yourself to know that you a bad bitch regardless what this girl says? I didn't like it. I didn't like the bullying, because that's exactly what it does. And bullying is notorious on these shows. These girls and guys get this hive-like mentality, and when they see a few people bandwagoning and arguing or jumping on somebody, everybody wants to jump in because they feel like that's the cool thing to do. And it's like, it's not fun to watch. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see anybody outnumbered, being attacked, being bullied. I don't like Kay, but I don't feel like she did anything to deserve what we saw in tonight's episode. I feel like the issue was between her and Isis, and people continue to jump in. And it's like, stay out of it, y'all. Get your camera time and get your storylines elsewhere. Because that's what it boils down to. These girls are looking for a way to keep their name into the story and onto the show. You don't want to fade into the background like that girl with the blue hair. That girl that got eliminated last week with the blue hair. She went home because she faded into the background. Same as the BBW. They both went home because they faded into the background, and they didn't say much. They didn't do much. They were just there to have a good time chilling. But you can't always do that. You got to speak up. You got to give your opinions. You got to make yourself known. Make your presence known. That don't mean be loud. Doesn't mean be calculated. Just be yourself and speak up when you feel like, you need to say something. Now, we see everybody wants to jump on Kay, right? Everybody want to jump on Kay, and I'm just like, oh my God, is it that serious that y'all have to fight this girl? Especially you, Erica. Shame on you, Erica. Erica, literally, if I would have saw Erica and I didn't know what was going on, and I would have saw her on top of Kay punching her the way she was, I would have thought that Kay slept with her boyfriend or something. Like, you're literally on top of this woman, punching her in the face because you heard now, not you didn't get confirmation or fact, but you heard that this girl said she was prettier than the rest of you. So you get on top of her, and did y'all see Erica? She was like pop 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 pop, and then poor Kay. Kay had some y'all. They fucked that girl's face up. Did y'all see the knots on her head? Y'all, if you didn't watch and you're just here for the recap, this girl Erica, Erica, this girl Erica got on top of this girl Kay and was just punching her in the face like this. Mm, mm. And Kay had a knot like that fucking big. I'm serious. It went from her eyebrow. It went from her eyebrow to the top of her forehead. That knot did. I was like, God damn. They fucked her face up right there. It looks lumpy. It looks awful, and I'm disappointed because not one person said, "Hey, yo, chill out." Not one person had this girl's back, and you don't have to be her best friend to have her back. But where is the humanity here? At what point does your human instincts kick in and feel sorry for another human being and say, wait a minute, this is wrong? I don't care if everybody's going to be against me and say, what are you talking about? Fuck that. If I feel like something is not right, it tugs on my soul. Like, say something, Damien. This is wrong. That girl did not deserve to have 3, 4, 5 girls jumping on her. For what? For what? And shame on the other one with the nose ring. I'm still learning their names, y'all. But the girl that I said was really pretty with the nose ring right here, I don't think she's that pretty no more because her insides are starting to show. And, she started all this. She started all this because she claims that Kay had her hands in her face. Kay, like a lot of people, talks with their hands. And Kay was here. The girl with the nose piercing was here, and Isis was on this side. So Kay is trying to talk to Isis, and she's doing like this, and girl in the middle is like, get your hands out of my face, bitch. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just starts attacking Kay. It makes no sense to me. It's giving bandwagon ass bitches. Now, we're going to go back to that fight here in a second. We're going to go back to that fight between Kay and all these girls here in a second. But let's move on to the next scene, which is Joseline in her little office area on her iPad, pretending she's conducting business or whatever. But Joseline's in there on her iPad, doing her thing. And Wet Wet walks in a maid outfit. Wet Wet walks in a maid outfit, paying homage to the iconic Love and Hip Hop scene when Mimi Faust walks in and Joseline says, "Hey, maid." That scene, y'all know that scene. Wet Wet comes in wearing a maid outfit. Joseline says, "Hey, maid," and Wet Wet's got a duster in her hand, like a feather duster when you dust tables and stuff, right? Now, Wet Wet walks up to Joseline and she kind of dusts the table a little bit, and then she takes the duster and we see her dust Joseline, like she grazes the duster right here across Joseline's torso. And then she kind of, if you go back and watch the footage, you'll notice she took the duster and she flicked Joseline's hair with it. Now we know in that moment, Joseline grabs Wet Wet's hand, pulls her in, and then smacks the shit out of Wet Wet in the face. I think everybody was like, "What? Wait, what?" Like, first of all, Wet Wet, what are you doing? Wet Wet, okay, two things here. Wet Wet, you knew better, first of all. Where in your mind did you think Joseline was going to be okay with that when y'all know how hot-headed Joseline is? She's a ticking time bomb. She'll go off at any time. So where in your mind would you think to go put a feather duster near her face? Okay? I just, like, should Wet Wet have done it? No. But that was fucked up, Joseline. That was fucked up, in my opinion. And if I was Wet Wet, I would have sued her ass. Emotional distress, assault, I can't sleep, I think I got a concussion, I feel dizzy, I can't see out of one eye, I can't hear out of... Now Joseline tells them, get Wet Wet the fuck out of here. Get her out of here. And as they're walking Wet Wet out, she says, that was extra, Joseline. And I think it was too. I really do. Again, Wet Wet should not have done it. It was extra on her part to be taking that feather duster and doing that. But Joseline also claims that Wet Wet put the feather duster in her face and did all this, and she really didn't. If you go back and watch the footage, the feather duster never went directly into Joseline's face. It went here, right here, and then she kind of flicked Joseline's hair with it a little bit, trying to be cute, trying to feed into the costume she was wearing, being a maid, trying to be funny, cute. I don't know why she thought with Joseline that'd be the right one to do it with, but we see what happened. Um, but yeah, Joseline, you keep saying she dusted your face. She didn't. Y'all can go back and watch the footage. And here's my thing. You making such a big deal because, oh, somebody put a duster in my face, like you're just so bougie and germophobic. You put cocaine up your fucking nose. Okay? You'll take fucking cocaine from random strangers or your drug dealers or whatever, and you'll shove that shit up your nose from sun up to sun fucking down and sweat like a pig and act a fucking fool like an animal from sun up to sun down as well. We've seen it on tape. So a fucking feather duster ain't gonna bother you. You'd been alright. You wanted to create a moment. You wanted to demean Wet Wet. You know you did. You wanted to demean her. You wanted to diminish her. You wanted to put your hands on her. You wanted to make her feel like shit. And you wanted to embarrass her. All those things you wanted to do, Joseline. And you succeeded in it, I'm sure. But really, in my opinion, you look like the bad guy because I've been praising Joseline the last few weeks, saying, oh, Joseline says that she's been on this sober journey. Well, it does feel like she is sober. It does feel like Joseline is sober because she's not having these coke-fueled tirades. She's not going off out of nowhere and putting her hands on people. Well, here we go. I knew we weren't going to get too far into the season without her doing something. And now she's put her hands on Wet Wet. Now, if it was justified, I would be on Joseline's side. But I don't feel like it was justified. And you and Wet Wet have a relationship to where you know how she is. All you had to do is grab the dust out of her hand and say, you do some shit like that again, bitch, I'm putting your ass the fuck out. You got it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to go that far, Joss. You really didn't. Now, we see, unfortunately, Wet Wet is being sent home. I'm assuming she's being sent home, seeing as they played a little farewell montage there. So, I feel like we were robbed. I feel like we were robbed of Wet Wet being there. But, listen, let's face it. Joseline didn't want Wet Wet there from the beginning. And I feel like Joseline probably fought the producers tooth and nail. Like, I don't want her on the show. I don't want her on the show. But they really wanted her there for ratings. And then finally Joseline was just like, I don't want this bitch on the show. Get her off. And they finally like, okay, eliminated her, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. Now, Wet Wet did post pictures on her Instagram a few weeks back. If I have the picture, I don't know if I have it or not, but if I have the picture, I will post it up here. She posted a photo a few weeks back. She was bruised really bad right there. Now, Raven goes to check on Joseline because she hears all this commotion and she wanted to see if everything was okay and she wanted to see what was going on. And Joseline pretty much tells Raven what's going on. And she tells Raven, look, I want you to be the new house mom. I want you to take Wet Wet's place and I want you to help me get these girls in check, get them in line. I need girls who are going to be on top of their A game, who can be a part of Joseline's Cabaret and go on tour, right? Now, Raven, I do think Raven's going to be a better house mom than Wet Wet. Let's just face it, because Wet Wet, one, doesn't really know how to dance. She's never really been on a tour. Raven has. Raven can somewhat dance. Raven can dance. Raven's been on the tours before. Raven knows what to expect. I feel like she's actually worked with Joseline versus where Wet Wet hasn't really been on tour. She just comes on the show because producers love her there and she brings the ratings. But Raven, she says she's ready to put these hoes in check because they've been sleeping all day, they've been eating processed foods, they've been drinking sodas, and she said they need fruit, water, and cardio. I said, okay, Miss Raven. She's stepping straight into that motherfucking role. I see you, sis. And I felt a little attacked because that sounded just like me. Well, I've been doing good. I've been on my water journey. Y'all probably seen me with my big mug up here because I just be trying to down as much water as I can because number one, it's so good. There's nothing more refreshing than a cold glass of water, ice cold glass of water. But there's so many health benefits, flushing out your system, flushing out the toxins. It's good for your skin, it's good for your hair and your nails. It's actually good for your muscles. That's why a lot of people be having backaches, neck be hurting, because you need to lubricate your joints with water. That's what water does. Hydration, all that good stuff. So I'm with Raven on that one. Now I need help with the processed foods and the sleeping a lot because I do both of those. And I like me a soda every now and then. But yeah, let's get this fruit going. Let's get this cardio going. Let's get this water going because I imagine if you're on stage shaking ass and dancing all night and you're not in shape, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough, right? And Wet Wet wasn't gonna take that house mom role serious anyway. Let's be real. Um, as much as I do love Wet Wet, she does sometimes she can do a little too much, and I think she can be her worst enemy at times, and that's why she got sent home. It's because you got to know when to reel it in at times. You don't always have to be on 10. You don't always have to be playing this character, trying to entertain. Like, just bring it down a little bit at times. Now, Raven gathers the girls. Joseline tells her, get the girls together. Tell them we're getting ready. We're going to go to the club and we're going to rehearse. We're going to go to Area 29 in Houston and we're going to rehearse for our performance. So Raven goes and she gathers all the girls at the staircase and tells them, the tea of what's going on. Now, when the girls are coming in, Raven says, she calls Kay Jigsaw. Hey, Jigsaw. I'm just like, come on now. Y'all, this entire episode, they bullied this girl. Now, if you had an issue with her, I could see that. Now, maybe there's something that we're not seeing. Maybe that these girls all have issues with Kay. Maybe Kay is one of those girls that, leaves her dirty tampons laying up in the trash. Maybe Kay is one of those girls that leaves her clothes laying everywhere, and maybe the house is just annoyed with her and we don't know that, and it looks like bullying to us. But I wish Zeus would give us context if that was the case. Otherwise, it looks like these girls don't like Kay for whatever reason and are bullying her. Calling her Jigsaw, really? Like, don't get me wrong, it's funny, and I've called lots of people Jigsaw up here. Before I ever saw this season of Joseline's Cabaret, I have always called girls and gays that have that Botox and filler in their cheeks that makes them look like a cat or makes them look like Jigsaw. And, even Joseline was wondering tonight who Jigsaw was. And if y'all don't know who that is, Google Jigsaw from the Saw horror movies, okay? And you will see who we're talking about. And that's why these girls are calling her that. But it feels like y'all picking on her. Like, Raven, what is your issue with her for you to say, hey, Jigsaw? It feels like you're bandwagoning a little bit. Like you're trying to do what everybody else is doing and make fun of this girl. And it's not cute. You didn't like when people were calling you Dexter's Laboratory, did you? Now, Raven, she tells the girls, Joseline wants you all to go get ready. We're going to rehearsal, and there should be no fighting today. If you guys fight, you will get sent home because Joseline's not playing around. But I'm like, yeah. Y'all have said that in the past, and these girls don't care. They still fight, and yeah. Now, one thing I noticed, did y'all notice how Raven told the girls that Ballistic was going to have everybody freshly squeezed juice for them before they head to rehearsal so they can get some fruit in there, some juices in their body? Did y'all catch when she said that? Okay, so then she tells the girls, the juice is ready, and all the girls come rushing down. Keep in mind, there's like 15, 16 girls. Now tell me why Ballistic only has 6 cups of juice sitting there. So the first 6 girls that walk into the kitchen, they get their juice, but the rest of the girls are like, wait, where's my juice? And Raven's like, we gotta go. I don't know. We don't have time. We've got to go. I would, I would have been pissed. I would have been like, I don't want to go until I get my juice. Why does X, Y, and Z get one, but I want my freshly squeezed juice. Excuse me. What about y'all? Would y'all have felt some type of way, or would you would have said, fuck that juice? I don't know. It just didn't feel like, why did he only make 6? Anyway, the girls get on the Sprinter van and they head to rehearsal. And, some of the girls are showing off their pole skills because there's a stripper pole in the Sprinter van. So, they're doing their little thing. They're dancing. Andrea, we see her get up on the ceiling, kind of like she hangs from the ceiling and starts twerking her ass. And then in her confessional, she says, and I quote, I'm excited to go to rehearsal because little do these bitches know I beat ass and I was on stage 24 hours later and on a tour. You bitches are not built like me, and I know that from the jump. I inspire you bitches. Girl, we don't care. Like, where is this persona coming from? Because this is not the same Andrea we met. Who do you think you are? Stop the act. Put the script down. It's giving Days of Our Lives. It's giving Young and the Restless. Please stop, Andrea. You are such a wannabe, and put that fucking voodoo doll down. You will never be Judy J from season 7 of the Bad Girls Club. You pathetic little twat. Now back to everybody jumping on Kay. Raven asked the girls if everybody is going to be able to go to rehearsals without fighting one another. And Kay says, well, I just got jumped or attacked by 3 different girls. And Chinks actually speaks up for her because some girls were like, you didn't get jumped? What are you talking about? But Chinks speaks up and she tells the chick that has the nose piercing, is that called a dermal? I don't know what you call it. The nose piercing right there. Chinks tells her, I don't feel like you had a reason to fight Kay earlier. And I'm like, thank you, Chinks. I wish you would have said that in that moment, but I'm still going to give Chinks props for bringing it up on the Sprinter van and checking these girls because nobody had Kay's back in that moment, and I knew that there had to be somebody out there that felt the same way that you and I probably did. Like, this was too much, right? So Chinks tells her, like, look, sis, I feel like you did too much and you had no reason to be fighting this girl. And I agree with that too. And she also tells Erica, the blonde, light-skinned girl, the same thing. Like, I feel like you didn't have a reason to fight her either. I mean, it doesn't get any more black and white than that. These girls fought her to jump on the bandwagon, to try to make themselves stand out, and to be noticed. They don't want to be that girl that fades in the background. They just saw Moni, the BBW, and the girl with the blue hair last week go home for not doing enough. So now they're showing the fuck out. Because I'm telling y'all, not only do these girls have to impress Joseline for $50,000, for the $50,000 cash prize, not only do they have to impress her, you have to impress production. There's a whole other ball game going on behind the scenes because production influences who goes home. If you're boring as fuck, they're going to be like, hey, Joseline, at eliminations, we need you to get rid of her. You could be the best fucking dancer in the world, but if you're boring and stale, they're going to send you home. Now, the girls go meet Ricardo at the studio. We all remember Ricardo from last season. He was on Joseline's Cabaret in New York. I don't really care for him. I wish you would get another choreographer because it does seem like at times that Ricardo wants to be in the cabaret himself. I feel like Ricardo likes the camera. I feel like Ricardo sometimes tries to be Joseline 2.0 and wants to steal Joseline's shine, like when he was standing up there on the stage with her earlier and on his phone, like the way he was making a little side comments. It's like, Ricardo, get off the stage, be the choreographer, please. You're not the star. Now, I'm with Raven. When Raven walked in, did y'all see the dance Ricardo was doing on the stage? He was doing all this little 1-2 I mean, it was a lot, and I'm like, if this is the Raven said the same thing. If this is the official dance of the season that these girls have to learn, they in trouble, okay? Because we see that some of these girls still can't do a basic 8 count, still can't do the most easiest dance of the cabaret's history, which is the Doon Cha Cha. Because the girls come into rehearsal, Joseline comes in next, and Joseline immediately says, "Who knows the Doon Cha Cha dance?" The OGs all raise their hand, and Ocean says that she thinks that she knows it because she's been watching videos on YouTube and practicing. So Joseline says, "Okay, anybody that thinks they know Doon Cha Cha, get up on the stage right now." So we see Raven, we see Andrea, we see Danny, we see Diamond, and Ocean get up on stage to do the Doon Cha Cha dance. Now, they get on stage. Ocean gets kicked off immediately, even though I was impressed that Ocean actually knew it for her to never have rehearsed it before. Really, she knew the she knew that part. I think Ocean's problem was she was coming in too late, or she was turning around too early. Coming in late and early at different times, and I think that's what got her fucked up. Now, then. My favorite moment of the episode is when Joseline kicked Danny's ass off the stage. Joseline noticed that Danny still does not know the Doon Cha Cha dance 3 seasons later, so she kicks Danny right off the fucking stage. And I'm like, well, this just might be your karma, Danny, for being such a little cunt. Because you have been such a cunt this season, last season, and the season before that, and it's all catching right back up to you. And how do you not know the dance? Andrea and Danny have been on tour with Joseline. Y'all were on tour doing the Doon Cha Cha in a different city every night. How do you not know the dance? You should be able to go up there and slay that dance. Get jiggy with it, get jiggy with it, You ain't getting money, Doon Cha Cha. You ain't getting money. Every day of the week. Doon Cha Cha. Bitch gotta get paid. Bitch gotta get laid. Bitch gotta get something. Like, I mean, do I need to audition for the motherfucking cabaret? Literally, someone could teach me this dance in 15 minutes and I would slay it. It's simple. Something like that. Anyway. Ooh, I'm sweating. These lights, y'all, these lights. Y'all can't see them, but I got a big light there, a big light there, a big light here. Now, Joseline says this is the easiest routine in the entire cabaret. Joseline says the entire fucking universe knows this dance. And I mean, I don't want to say the entire universe is obviously a stretch, but I mean, she's right. A lot of people in the Zeus universe know this dance. How do you girls not know this dance? The OGs. I'm not speaking on Ocean. I'm not speaking on any new girls. But you OGs should know. I think Raven and Andrea were the only two that held it together. As they should. Raven, Andrea, Diamond, and Danny should be able to slay the Doon Cha Cha because they did it every night in a different city. No excuses. I don't blame Joseline. Not only would I have said, get the fuck off my stage, I probably would have said, go home. Joseline looks at Danny and she says, why are you looking so dumb? She says she only has 2 girls that can do the Doon Cha Cha, and that is sad. I would be worried too. That is sad. But I'm starting to wonder, if, like I mentioned earlier, if Joseline is back on the coca-laca, if she's back on the cocaine, sis. Because I mean, Joseline, you on one this week, and I'm gonna tell y'all why I think so. Because we not only did she do the shit with Wet, but we see Joseline tell all the girls to get off the stage, and she calls out the thicker girl from Chicago. I can't think of her name, the one that jumped on the new girls. Joseline calls her out and says, "Yo, Chicago." She says, "Your dancing was sloppy." She said, "You started getting tired and sloppy." She said, "Quote, baby, let me tell you something. You need to get off my stage. I want you to be the first one off my stage. You're not cute. Move along, ho. Nothing to see here." I'm like when Joseline be, it's like the devil takes over her body. What did this girl do to you for you to talk to her like that? I mean, god damn. I just don't get it. Shit. Now she tells the girls that they're about to do an elimination. Joseline is pissed at this point that nobody can do the Doon Cha Cha, so she's ready to send some people home. And she says we're going to do it Survivor style. She gives the girls a pack of sticky notes and she says, "I want everybody to write down who they want to go home, and whoever has the most votes, we're going to send them home," right? We see Andrea saying that her and Kay and Danny had a plan to vote out Isis. So Isis had quite a few votes stacked against her. Chinks mentions Chinks. I like Chinks. I like her a lot. She seems level-headed and cool. She says that this vote is going to have nothing to do with how well the girls dance, skill set, or anything like that. She says this vote is going to be strictly based off of the beefs in the house, who's fighting with one another, personal agendas, and I agree. They're not going to get voted out based on how well they danced, or they're going to get voted off based off how much these girls hate them. And when it come down to the votes, and Joseline reads all the sticky notes, it was a 4-way tie. They had a 4-way tie between 4 girls, 3 votes each for 4 different girls. Rose had 4 votes. She's the new girl. I saw that coming. Both of the new girls had 4 votes. Both of the new girls had 3 votes each, right? And then we see that Isis got 3 votes. And then we see that Joseline pulls a sticky note up and she says, "Who's Jigsaw?" Kay steps forward and says, "Me." Joseline's like, "Jigsaw? Why are they calling you Jigsaw?" I'm like, oh God, Joseline, oh God. Poor Kay. She's handling it. And listen, y'all, I don't like Kay. I don't. But I don't like how she was treated. But I think she's handled it very well. She smiled when Joseline brought it up. And she was like, "Why do they call you Jigsaw?" And she was like, "I don't know. I guess because I'm so pretty." But Kay, my love, if you're watching, if you would just go get some fillers dissolved, a little bit of dissolve, I feel like it would give you a softer look, because right now those fillers give you a very masculine look in the face. You know what I mean? Like, it just looks like very, like, I don't want to be mean about it, but if she would just get some of that shit dissolved, I feel like she would look a lot more feminine and softer in the face. And then Hennessy was the last girl that was a part of the 4-way tie. Now, Joseline says she's like, the person who will be going home is, and then they don't show it. They cut it until next week. But if you watch the sneak peek for next week, based off the sneak peek, it seems like Kay goes home. Because we don't see her throughout any of the sneak peek, and then at the end of it, we see Kay. All the girls are sitting in the living room, and then Kay comes in on a little bicycle. And if you don't recognize, the little bicycle is kind of like they're trying to pay homage to the movie Saw. Kay is trying to be funny, saying, "Y'all are calling me Saw? Okay, I'll come out here like Jigsaw on his little bike." Because if you watch the Saw movies, y'all know that Jigsaw comes out on the little tricycle bike. And that's what Kay did. So I think Kay gets eliminated next week, but I think she comes back. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Who do y'all think goes home? One of the 2 new girls? Hennessy or Kay? We'll have to wait and see. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this episode. Do y'all feel like Kay was bullied this week? And what do you think about Joseline attacking Wet Wet for Wet Wet using the feather duster on her? Do you think Wet Wet took it too far, or do you think Joseline took it too far? Do you feel like Joseline was justified in her actions? I want to hear from you. Join the conversation. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. And also click that thumbs up button to like this video because that helps me get into the YouTube algorithm, okay? I love you guys so much for watching. If you want to donate, in the description box will be some ways that you can donate. I love you so much, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.